come from? Where were you? Have you been here all the time?
I don't know, but I just took half my makeup off, so this is not...
You're looking a bit brown, mate. Have you been on a sunbed?
No, do you know what happened?
Or is it just because I look extraordinarily white?
No, I finally got the right colour foundation. I'm NC, I'm not NW.
Can you write it down for me and I'll try and have a bit next week?
NC20, Mac, if anybody wants to send me some.
If you'd like to sponsor us, if NC20 would like to sponsor this show, where we have this absolutely delightful, beautiful person.
We're going to get crates of it sent now.
Yeah, because actually, I've got a secret for you.
You said it all wrong.
Listen. When I used to work with Kydd, all right, on the telly, when I was directing and I wasn't presenting or anything, he was. Yeah. He's quite a fan of the bronzer. Yeah. He likes a bit of bronzer. He loves it. He loves a bit of bronzer.
I don't like bronzer, but you just said it completely wrong. There's no NC. It's NC is the colour, Mac is the make.
Okay. Is that what Mac? Mac what? Is it Scottish or what?
No, just MAC.
Oh my Jesus! Don't even listen to Chidge.
Do you get like a bigger one and you call it a Big Mac? Let's just move on and talk about football.
What is he talking
Sophie's
about?
If I could get through this show tonight, which is nearly 2 hours of it, without Sophie punching me in the face, I will award myself a Chelsea FanCast T-shirt to celebrate. You all over the place on the script, love, are you?
Well, I
went
a bit
throw this
wrong.
away?
Yeah.
Should we throw it away? Discard the script. There we go. Doesn't it feel good?
Feels
great.
great.
Good, doesn't it? Right.
It's cathartic, isn't it?
It is cathartic. Now, as you probably gathered, we wasted 2 minutes talking about nothing about football, but I'm going to change all that because now it is time for our match awards, which we like to call the fannies. It's like our version of the Oscars, but with fannies in. We should actually maybe rename them to the Oscars.
We're going to have to rename it to something. Can we name it the Oscars?
Yeah.
I'd like to call them the Diegos, just to be contrary.
The Costas.
They're
the more expensive
What did we
ones.
call it? The Costa Oscar?
Oscar da Costa.
Oscar da Costa.
The fat Samoan lawyer. But, no, we might rename them as the Oscars, and then we'll award a little kind of... you get those kind of like, you know, the wobbly head things? Not Neil Barnett. The little kind of plastic bobbleheads. We'll get little bobblehead Oscars and we'll award them to... So if Oscar wins, because he gets the Guinness moment, we'll give him his own bobbly head back.
And then we can have a picture of Sophie with the little
we get Sophie to
bobblehead.
present them.
And you can present them. Well, I was going to say, we'd just take a picture and send it to him. But
we could cheat that.
Yeah.
We could, like, film it.
we could
Should we just
Photoshop it in.
Yeah, should we go and do our own show?
Me and Charlie will leave while these two have...
Are we talking about Oscar? What more do you want? We're having an Oscar fest here, Sophie.
I know. Oh, no. What are you saying now?
Nothing. Oscar Fest, as in Festival of Oscars.
Exactly.
Right,
You've got a filthy
okay.
mind,
No,
you
it's all the sort of jokes and metaphors. I'm getting confused this evening.
Double entendres, as we like to say on Carry On.
Double entendres.
Let's carry on, talking of carrying on. OK, right, Man of the Match. My nominations for Man of the Match are Fabregas, because I thought Fabregas was brilliant. And I said that he was at the heart of everything that was... You're still behind, aren't you?
I'm here.
Keep up, love. I thought he was brilliant in everything that he did, and he was at the heart of everything good for Chelsea. Costa scored 2 goals, is a beast. The other thing I liked about Costa's performance, actually, was the fact that he, quite rarely for a goal pig like Costa, if he thinks that he's not in the best position to score, he will try and play a colleague in.
Yeah.
A lot of goal pig strikers that I know will quite often not do that. And I mean, like, there's a couple of very good examples. That wonderful back pass he did to Oscar, I think, for Oscar's second goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that enables him to play in a top team rather than just a very good team.
He's a quality
because
striker, mate.
You can't have in the modern game with a lone striker, you can't have someone be that selfish.
No, he's
Aguero a bit like that, though? Isn't he as selfish as that?
No,
I think he's a quality player.
He's a class player, but isn't he very fixated on the goal?
He is, but I mean...
Much more than Costa is.
I don't know.
Because he has a belt, he has a dip from wherever he is.
Can I just say something quickly here? Jonathan, this is the best you've ever looked on the Chelsea FanCast. Can we go back to the wide, please? I want to admire Jonathan.
Smile for the camera.
You look, I mean, apart from anything, you're sitting up straight. You know, you've got all of your hair and teeth in place.
Don't
I'm looking a bit bald today.
You are a bit, but you're a bit shiny. We need some Fuller's Earth
I'll put some cream on beforehand.
But you do actually look years younger, Jonathan, I have to say. I think you're looking really good, mate.
It's the drugs.
With your baby gap top. It's looking lovely. Anyway, the last what? What's
Baby gap.
It is
What
baby
he
gap,
talking
isn't it?
about?
Anyway, talking of babies, the last nomination for Man of the Match goes to Sophie's. I think the future Mrs. Sophie Rose, which is called Oscar Mbauba Jr.
You mean the future Mrs. Sophie?
No, he'll be called Mr. Sophie Rose.
Unfortunately, Oscar is married with a child.
Is he? Well, what's this thing with his sister then? I keep seeing these chunky
No,
photographs.
he's just close to his sister. His sister's very beautiful as well.
Yeah.
But,
he's from Brazil, you know.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, this has been far too... It needs to have one of those E signs on this programme
do you know what I'm going to do? Right, you're too young to remember Monty Python, but I'm going to bring you in a bit of cardboard next week with this printed on it, and whenever it gets a bit silly, you can hold this up and you go, "Stop! This show is getting too silly," and that's what they used to do.
Hold it over your face.
We should be doing.
A bit like this, okay? So we'll have a practice run here. It's written, pretend it's written on that side, okay? And then when it gets a bit silly, what do you do, Sophie? No, over my face, not yours.
Oh.
What do you say? This show is getting too silly.
This show is getting too silly. No, you can't cheat.
Okay, right. I'm promised to be sensible for the rest of the show. So, okay, who are we going to vote for then? Jonathan.
Who were the others?
Fabregas, Costa, Oscar.
Oh, my goodness me. Can't vote for all three, can I?
No.
I'll vote for Fabregas.
Good man. Charlie.
I'm going to say Oscar because I think, while Fabregas was incredible, I think because Swansea had no midfield to speak of, Fabregas had so much space to do what Fabregas does well. And I think Oscar had less space. He scored 2 goals. He's been on a downturn of form, and it was really good to see him have so much end product. So I'm going to say Oscar.
You're changing my mind with that.
Well said. Very well said. It was good, wasn't it?
That was
much better than you or I. That
Mate, sorry, you can't come on the show ever again because it's far too good for us.
Yeah.
We're not used to that.
Yeah.
Now, Sophie.
What do you think?
I think you're probably going to go for Costa.
Yeah, me too. 2 Costas.
No, I love Costa and Fabregas, but I think the most important thing is scoring a goal in 50 seconds because it just gives the whole team a boost and changes the game. So I'll go for Oscar.
I tell you what, I'm really... do you know what? Because I'm also going to cheat, of course.
You're changing your mind now.
Well, I was going to go Fabregas, as you know. Okay, but if I go Fabregas, that's 2 for Oscar and 2 for Fabregas, which means we have the dreaded tie. But I have to say, my mind has been changed utterly by Charlie's logic. So I'm going to go Oscar.
It's true though.
Sorry, Jonathan.
It is.
But I don't think what he's saying is necessarily true. I just think he played much further forward, and
which is the whole point.
He's got 2 goals though.
As a consequence of playing further forward, it allowed him to express himself.
Well, I know, but I don't
better.
want to tie. That's why I'm going for Oscar, really.
No, you can't do it because of that.
Well, how about if I go for Costa?
Then I'll go for Fabregas.
Okay.
Enough! We're getting too silly again. We're getting too silly. Right, chant of the match. Now, Charlie was there.
Right, yeah.
So I would love to hear what he says. But what I'm going for, I heard a brilliant one-man win to Mo.
Yeah, there was a couple of
in the nominations.
I just did the first one. It's making me laugh.
We'll save that one till last. I'm going to go for... the 3 that I'm going to go for are one man went to Mo. That was a brilliant one-man. Confirmed?
Yeah, there was a couple of those.
All right. A lovely you are, my Chelsea,
Yeah, there's a couple
my
of
only
those.
Chelsea.
There's a couple of those.
Doesn't get sung enough, in my opinion.
No, it's one of my favourites.
Like that. Okay, but the one that I didn't hear this, sadly, because you couldn't really distinguish this on the TV, but I got this from the lovely Terence the Cat on Twitter. At Terence the Cat, should you want to follow that person. They are gender unspecific, of course.
Is it a neutered cat? Then?
Oh, you tell him. Her, or her even, or it. Anyway, I found this on her Twitter feed, which just absolutely made me roar with laughter, and I think Terry Fisk, also known as True Blue Terry, said, "You've got to nominate this." We were singing, "We're top of the league, we're top of the league, we're top of the league," and then we were singing, "You're effing poo, you're effing poo, you're effing poo," or, you know. And then basically it changed to "You're effing sheep, you're effing sheep."
It's just genius.
And I just, being in Wales, that really appealed to me. I like that a lot. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, this is far too boring a debate to have now. I don't think the atmosphere was actually that good. I don't think the atmosphere was as good as it could have been.
Do you know what, Charlie? On the telly, it came across as
really
we
loud.
Swansea supporters give it large. I mean,
they were in a state of shock.
Yeah, but they were going mental with that stupid drama.
That's right.
5-0 down.
But they were very quiet when the goals were going in.
Yeah, but
you would expect. But
they had a second win.
Aspirations to winning the game, and they've been taken to the cleaners.
To be fair,
I thought we were brilliant on Saturday.
The atmosphere was very loud during that crazy 40 minutes, and then as the game slowed down and they got a bit incessant with the drum, it was a little bit quieter. One that's not on there, a real sort of old school one that I've always liked, is who put the ball in the Swansea net? Arthur. Who put the ball in the Swansea net?
Arthur.
Effing
Chelsea. Yeah.
So I really like that. That came up a couple of times.
Apart from it's not true.
No, that would have to be
You can only sing that song when 5 different scorers, Chelsea scorers...
No, but I
fall
think you
back
can
on
treat it as a metaphor.
No, you can't.
I think you
No, you
can.
can't.
I think you
No, you
can.
can't.
I think you
No, you
can.
can't.
I'm sorry.
Like, this could go on all
think
night.
you
I don't
can.
mind. No, you can't.
I think you can.
I would.
I think you can.
Out of those 3, I would like to vote
He's
for.
laughing.
I think you can. I think you can.
All right, enough. Right, OK, who are we going to vote for?
Out of those, I'd like to vote for One Man Went to Mow.
OK, that's a good shout, Sophie.
I am a massive fan of One Man Went to Mow.
Yep.
However, and I would have gone for You Are My Chelsea, but I just think the sheep thing is really
Funny.
original, and I wouldn't have thought that would come up. So I'm going to go for the first one.
You're going to go for Your Effing Sheep,
Yes.
Jonathan?
I've heard the effing sheep one before because I'm so old, and therefore I won't.
Who were we playing
won't
then?
be voting.
Cardiff?
We were indeed
There you
playing
go.
it. No,
You
no,
can only sing it to
no, we
Welsh
weren't. We were
teams.
also playing at Derby.
Oh, yes, the Rams.
I've
yes.
heard it every time there.
Yeah,
Because they also call themselves
What is the sheep thing?
Shagars, don't
Sheep
they?
Shagars.
They call
Sheep
themselves.
Shergars.
Yes, sheep
Is there
Shergars.
lots
They
of
call
sheep in
themselves.
Wales?
So
Yes, there
I
are
won't be
some.
voting for that one because.
And they like sheep in Wales.
But having said that, and I agree, the You Are My Chelsea is one of the greats, and
It is, isn't it?
I love the na 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 ooh, na 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 na. I love all of that.
I can't
But
do that.
love it.
I will
Too
always vote for
ladylike.
One Man Meant to Mow because it is the most silly
It is.
song that any team,
What's it
every club
about?
has.
Can somebody tell me what One
It's
Man
about
Went to Mow?
a man who is mowing a meadow,
Right.
and that's what it's
Yeah.
all about.
And-
That's literally it.
That's it.
And the other thing is, this is a very silly show tonight, so I think it's very appropriate that we vote for a silly song. But of course, I'm
totally
going to go for
random.
Your Effing Sheep. So what's the vote order?
Meadow.
Sheep.
Meadow.
Oh,
Meadow.
It's
Meadow,
a tie.
Sheep.
It's a tie.
So
Who's
who
got the
gets to
casting
decide?
vote?
Very
All right.
agricultural.
Go,
Me.
you have the casting vote.
Me. One Man Meant to Mow.
So who gets to decide the
So
final vote?
tonight's winner.
Jonathan.
Sorry, I'll spell that
Is
again.
the sheep.
Tonight's winner is You Are
sheep.
My Chelsea. Thank you, Jonathan. Anyway, right, Guinness moment, everybody. Time for Guinness. That cover
Greens.
there. Right,
Greens.
okay.
Moment.
Greens. Okay. Now, blimey. I mean, we could have had 15 nominations, I reckon, Charlie. But I've tried to whittle it down to these. I hope I've got it approximately right. But the build-up for Costa's second goal. Now, that was the one where it went basically Fabregas and Hazard, bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Or Willian and Fabregas. And then it ended up... It was just fantastic. Oscar's second goal and the build-up to that, which was quite similar, and then it ended up on, Oscar's foot, and he put the laces through it, and that was, I think, me and So's favourite goal, the one that you like, the goal that you like.
Second, yeah.
And I actually think, do not underestimate this little delightful one. Schürrle's goal, the build-up to that, Brenner. Brenner played
Brenner's
like
I
blooming
heard about that,
Jarzinho. What's going on? I mean, the move that he made to get into that and cross it, So very difficult.
He was in our top 5 best transfers earlier.
Well, that's a really good idea, because I agree with
He's
that.
an absolute bargain.
I love him. All right.
Who's that?
Branislav.
All right.
Future captain of
Yeah, he
Chelsea,
could be.
I think, Branner. He would be my choice as the future captain
He's
of Chelsea.
only had one bad game that I can remember. That's
He
it.
bleeds
No
blue,
others.
he's
He
nails.
wasn't great against Spurs the other day.
That's what I meant.
Very quickly,
That
we've got to
one.
vote, because I'm running out of
Well,
time.
I'll just say very quickly, the one thing missed out was Fabregas' 40-yard volleyed pass
Oh, that was incredible.
to Costa for when he
Really
went round
was
and
very good.
he missed.
I'm
When
gonna
he
vote-
hit
I'm
the
gonna vote
bar.
for that.
One of the great passes and moments.
Chidge, you're meant to be controlling the show here. You're meant to be dominating this.
I might not
and
be
you've missed out the
I'm
best
in,
thing.
I'm in,
What's
I'm
the
in,
best thing
I'm in an
then?
alpha
What they
male
just said.
mood tonight.
Well,
it's
you
difficult.
can't. I mean, the
No,
thing
look.
is, you can't get them all
I
in. I
know.
mean, it's just like.
Now, look,
All right,
I'm-
vote quickly. I'll
Go
vote
on then.
for Costa's second goal.
I'll vote for Oscar's second goal and the build-up to it.
You're going to go for Oscar's second goal, the build-up to it. I'm going to go for the build-up for Costa's second goal.
That's what I'm just saying.
Because it was just
Genius. It was
super.
genius.
Because it's the build-up to it. It's not,
was.
I'm not voting for the goal.
No, but the goal
I'm
was
voting
pretty
for-
good as well, but
The
it
goal
was
was pretty
genius.
good too, but the passing was.
I agree.
Do
It was.
you know what, people? I hate to tell you this, and I'm not going to go all Gary Monk on you, but I was moist when that went in. I've got to say. Right, sorry, Charles.
Well, that's what a Guinness moment's all about, though,
yeah,
isn't
but
it?
that is the point.
That's the point, exactly.
Because we go. What do we do, Jonathan, when we get a Guinness moment?
We go,
Just like Gary Monk does. Anyway,
I'm going to make it 3-1. I think.
You're going to go for
I'm
the
disturbed.
build up for Costa's second goal.
Yes.
Ever since I knew what these jokes were about, I just can't.
You don't know what they're
Control.
about. You're too young to know.
I do really want to know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about some sort of punk, and then I realised. Anyway.
Punk's not dead, so. It's living and breathing in David Chidge. Did you know that? I'm an old punk.
He is.
I'm old enough to be an old punk.
Spiky hair, ripped T-shirt.
So, well, hang on. So basically, it's
Ripped
3-1.
jeans.
Yeah, for the
Costa's second goal.
build-up for Costa's second goal.
Yeah.
Is the
Blimey.
winner.
There we go. Brilliant stuff. Now, finally, the celery
Celery
moment, which I'm a bit of an esoteric choice as always because it's my choice. So you either yeah. Well, that isn't my choice because I saw that on Twitter and it's hilarious. Right. Anyway, the first one is Mourinho being grumpy and demanding. I kind of really warmed to that.
Yeah, let's just see that picture one more time. It is genius.
You like that? He's got nice abs, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does indeed.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Solanke.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you keep coming to the games, darling.
All right, so Mourinho being very grumpy on the touchline, definitely a nomination. I'm going to go and save the best till last in a way. I think JT becoming the third highest appearance maker for Chelsea, Jonathan, is just lovely.
It's phenomenal.
Isn't it?
Did he have a slight go at Frank when he said he'd overtaken Frank?
I don't know, but I'm kind of...
Because I wonder are they as friendly as they were?
I think they are very friendly, but I think
I
think what you need to consider, Charlie will back me up on this, I'm sure, but John Terry is you think Lampard's a smooth media operator. Don't underestimate JT. The power he's wielded at that club, the influence that Mourinho's had on him, he knows that whatever he says has some effect. And I think JT genuinely wants to be remembered as the legend of this era. And he knows, hang on a minute, he knows that Frank's besmirched that legacy a little bit.
Yes.
So I don't think that JT will waste any opportunity in coming out with things like that.
Has he not had the banner taken down?
He has. No. Well, we've got, the JT banner?
No, the Frank.
Well, I heard from somebody that that JT got the Frank banner taken down.
It was from me.
Was
really?
It from you?
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the people what puts the flags up.
Why
You must
would
have heard that from Darren.
Why would he do that?
No, I heard that from Lynn, who sits next to me.
Why would he
Who
do
knows?
Why? Because
JT.
because he's the enemy because he doesn't play for us.
Well, I mean, to be honest, JT has basically got a very good chance of becoming Chelsea's biggest legend.
I want to show you something. I did this with a slightly heavy heart, Sophie, but on actually, I've still got Frank lifting the European Cup as my screensaver. But on my Twitter, my Stamford Chidge Twitter account, it has forever and a day had a picture of me with Frank Lampard on it, but I've changed that to what?
JT.
Exactly. So there you
No,
go.
he is. I mean, look, he's stayed, and I don't think John Terry would make a decision.
Right, last
like
celery thingy, that camera, last celery nomination, we've got to get this out. Now, that when I can't remember which goal it was, but there was a goal celebration involving Matic punching Fabregas in the face. There's a Vine about it, which is why I found out of it.
I haven't seen the Vine.
It's just going...
Is it funny?
He smacks him one, does he?
He doesn't mean to. They're all going like that. And so Match's arm's there because he's quite tall. And Fabregas actually runs. It was comedy. He runs onto his fist and goes,
It was very good.
It was quality. So
he got quite angry for about a second as well.
Didn't he? He got a bit feisty. Right, so out of those, what are we going to go for? Because you've got about a minute and a half.
Punching, that's hilarious. I'll go for that.
Grumpy Jose.
Grumpy Jose.
Yeah.
Punching.
Punching.
Yeah,
I've got to say, it's the silliest thing. I'm really tempted to go for JT.
The fact that it was Matic who punched someone as well. He's the biggest player on the field.
It's
funny.
Well, the thing is, you can do JT
when he gets to the second or the first.
I agree with you. No, you can get
I
to
agree
JT.
with you. In which case,
do JT whenever.
I know. Well, in which case, I'm going to go for Matic punching Fabregas in the face. I thought it was very funny. Charlie.
Punching all the way.
So Matic.
Jose.
Okay, 3-1. Blimey. And of course, now we've left with a minute left because we were too quick for a change.
So what should we talk about?
Is there anything else funny you saw at the game, Charlie? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you.
What?
Debs was saying on Twitter that the police escorted them away from the ground or something, or to the ground. I don't know. A bit of an impromptu police escort.
Yeah, the thing is, I didn't walk. I got out and there were some buses ready to take people to the station, so I hopped on one of them.
I see.
So can he?
Yeah. I can't.
I've done that.
I've
done that
for
from there. That's exactly what I've done.
All right.
Exactly.
Anyway,
it's a long old way.
It is.
That's done the trick. We've wasted 30 seconds of time, which is exactly what my aim was. And after the break, we're going to be talking a little bit about having a capital semi with Liverpool tomorrow, and possibly some transfer rumours and other stuff. So there we go. Don't go away. It's going to be unbelievably exciting. See you in a second.
One of my favourites today was we went